Hi, my name is Mirza. I'm from ITE actually. I was there for quite a long time.
My name is SYAFIAH. I'm 23 years old and I'm currently in Screen Media NAFA.
I don't think you actually realize you have any mental health conditions because that's just the life you're living and everything seems normal to you. I really never realized anything until when I was talking about myself to my friends and I realized that there's some situations where those are not things most people would do versus something I would do. From there was like some hints that there was something a bit wrong with my mind, but it wasn't very vivid. It was just in the back of the head.
So I was already experiencing the negative thoughts daily when I was 7, and like I didn't really understand when I was in secondary school. Like my stomach kept hurting, then like my heart was pounding actually every day at any time. And basically that was like symptoms of anxiety, but I wasn't aware. One of my peers said that, oh, that's not normal.
Part of me never actually wanted to seek help at all. It was just normal for me, and I thought this was really normal for everyone. But when I told my friends about the situations I was feeling, he was very concerned and basically forced me to go to the doctor. I was very hesitant. There was a lot of stigma behind it, and I wasn't very confident on it. When I was there at the doctor's seat, basically told him some lies, and then my friend was just in the back saying, and eventually I let the thoughts out, and then I got the referral, and yeah, it just led on from there, and I realized, oh, okay.
This issue was affecting my relationship with my loved ones and my friends. I think in the middle of the night, yeah, I went up to my sister while I was still crying. I was like, I think I need help. I can't do this anymore. Like my sister comforted me, but I saw how my current state was affecting her as well. I went to the clinic alone for my referral. Then I asked, I think I played with them to give me a referral. I was like, I need help. I need help. Yeah, I got diagnosed at 19. Now I'm 23, so 4 years.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cheang and I'm a psychiatrist working in Puat Hospital. Mental health issues that significantly affect a student's academic performance is commonly encountered in my clinical practice. Severe major mental health disorders such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or severe major depressive disorder can affect a student significantly more than minor conditions such as mild major depressive disorder, mild anxiety disorders, or adjustment disorders.
My friends were very supportive. Basically, all of them they knew there was problems with me. They were very concerned, but they didn't want to voice it out in case it might do something wrong. Only that one friend that really forced me to go. My parents, on the other hand, no, they weren't very supportive at first. Before all the major traumatic events happened, they just thought it was a game or it was just something very minor. When my life was at stake multiple times and they saw that, okay, so it's not just that I'm crazy, I actually do have some issues there. Then they were a lot more supportive after that when they talked to my doctors, my psychologists, my counselors, all of that. Then they got to have their minds opened basically and realized I really am suffering.
My friends definitely were supportive, but not my mom though. Her generation, they are not open to mental health. I kept my treatment away from her for like, I think 1 or 2 years. My emergency contact was like my sister. I think, but to this day, I think she's better now. Like, we don't talk about mental health, but she will try to ask if I'm doing okay, but ask if I've eaten or like how was school. Yeah.
Surprisingly, my grades went a lot more down after I got the diagnosis versus before. It's before that I have found self-destructive ways that weren't very physically self-destructive. So I was doing a lot of mentally draining things that just drained me, and that included studying. And I was just forcing myself out, and I was getting a lot of A's. When I got my diagnosis, I started to relax, and I started to give myself the freedom and relax. And yeah, it dropped significantly. I went from a 3.5 in my NITEC to a 1.2. before my diagnosis, I had a lot of days where I just suddenly disappeared from school, you could say. When I got my diagnosis, when I got more treated and everything, I at least told my lecturers or whoever was in charge that I wasn't feeling it and I wasn't going to take an MC, but I did tell them that I definitely wasn't having it right in the mind. So I was more confident in actually expressing how I felt to people without being more feared. I didn't feel very oppressed or whatever you could say. Like I said, my grades were really down because I really stopped trying my hardest to study, to do my work or whatever. I was just trying to enjoy whatever I thought was the remaining lengths of my life because it felt like I was gonna die one day, and I just didn't focus on that. I focused on having fun, creating whatever I could that was good. And yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed basically everything, even all the like downs, the mishaps that happened, all the accidents that happened. And throughout, I would say I never regretted wasting my 7 years in ITE. It was still one of the peak moments of my life, basically. It was one of the most wonderful experiences I could have.
I think it's odd that after getting diagnosed, my attendance dropped. But in ITE, my attendance was not bad actually. My grades was above average GPA. So, but now in NAFA, like my attendance is, I think because I relapse more often, like maybe every semester. My responsibilities, like I always pack my schedule very tight, so I'm often burnt out. But then I'm also packing my schedule because it grounds me. But it's a burning cycle, like, in a way.
There is definitely a role for early detection and intervention for mental health conditions because we nip the problem at its bud. When symptoms present early, the symptoms are fewer in number and they are also less intense. And so it makes it easier to treat and the person remain ill for a shorter period of time, leaving more time for the person to be well and to engage in academic activities.
I was in IT for basically 7 years, but during that break and what's it called, just freedom, basically, I was basically questioning myself about why I was feeling all this. Finally found an answer, and it helped me understood myself. It helped me realize that I can actually make myself feel better. And from the day I got back to school, it was significantly easier to actually be in school, understand my things, and not force myself to study for no reason. And I was just a lot more happier, basically.
So it's a tough decision to like put my mental health first. So like obviously it will affect my school performances, and I applied for semester deferment a few times, and if I don't apply, I'm MIA, missing in action. Ever since the diagnosis, like, it's better in a way because I know what's the issue with myself. What are my triggers, like how I can like bounce back from that. I think like initially my plans was like to study all the way to degree, but like I'm struggling to finish my diploma, so I think I'm gonna put a rest on education. I mean, initially I was embarrassed and like kind of fear of missing out, but then I learned that I shouldn't care about people's journey because our successes is all different. So like we cannot compare. Yeah, so now like I'm chill with working at my own pace. Yeah.
The criticisms mainly came from my parents. They were hoping that I would live up to my brother or my sisters, but instead I had to find my own way. And I mean, technically they are right, but it was at first painful, but eventually you get the message across and they understand that you will find your way and you will survive no matter what. It's just a totally different path from other people.
I'm close with a small group of friends and they are understanding, but then like my other classmates, they don't really know and they like to project their views. Like, oh, you skip school lah, oh, like, really man, you got come school, stuff like that. Like, somehow handle those peers, yes, I literally just don't care about them. Like, like they give comments, right, I just like side eye and then go along with my day, or I just ignore them. Like, I think people when talk about mental health, right, they know it's there, but they don't really know the extent of like how people suffer from it. Like, our academic is affected by it, like our relationship with others, and then when you have that specific illness, it's hard for you to leave your comfort zone. When I was missing MIA from school, it was tough for me to leave home. Like, I think my anxiety like was working on it. So like my depression was like the driving force. Like, it was like giving me issues. So like I had anxiety and like eating disorder. I meet my doctor like every 3 months or so.
Many academic institutions in Singapore offer an in-house counselling service where trained counsellors can provide confidential consultation to students for various mental health conditions. Aside from that, many institutions also have peer support programs where trained peers are available on the ground, providing empathy, listening without judgment, and care and connection with other peers in distress. Some universities also organize workshops or seminars that focus on mental health awareness or well-being and emotional resilience. Also have some online resources available, or self-help guides, articles or videos addressing mental health issues that are made accessible to students and to staff.
It's very odd to say, but I am very talented in some ways. I can do many things that I just have a lot of abilities I do because I kept jumping hobbies because I couldn't find something that filled a hole in my mind. And because of that, somehow I know how to cook, I know how to sew, I know how to garden. Wow, I really do know how to do too much. I know how to do a lot of things that most people don't even know I can do. Mental health got better and better. I realized, no, those are just the tools that they left behind that can help me in my life. Like the cooking and all. It wasn't a hobby at first, but now seeing that I can make my friends happy, I can see my family happy, it really makes you appreciate it, especially when you have gained control of your life again. And for the most part right now, it's just that cooking has brought me a lot more opportunities than the other things.
I had a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms, like starving myself or like self-harming and shit. But now, since I got adult money, if you guys don't know, I'm actually a mother. I'm actually a mother of 7. So, like when I was alone, I had to take care of myself, but I could barely like get myself out of bed. So now when I have like other kids to rely on me, so it helps me like ground me in a way, cause like, okay, the world is still moving, you know, like it doesn't stop just because of you.
I wouldn't say it's a phrase, but it's the philosophy that we only live once, basically. And that however tragic my life may be right now, it is still my life and I'm still the one in control. So however I do things, it is still my life and I should enjoy it no matter how horrible it gets, how good it gets. Doesn't matter, because you're gonna only experience it once. And when you eventually die from your own hands, or when eventually God has taken you over, you still enjoyed that life no matter how bad it might have been.
I'm here for a good time. Not a long time. So like, even if I go to the prison is temporary. Memories is forever.